Hey everybody, Stephen Totillo here to show you Diablo 3, and I'm here to show you the lapsed Diablo 3 gamer Diablo 3. So if you've been playing a lot of Diablo 3, if you're an expert, this video isn't really for you. It's for people like me who'd play the game a bit when it came out, maybe got to level 70 with a character, and then put it aside. A few weeks ago, I started going back to the game around Christmas and New Year's, and realized there was all this new stuff coming. There's a lot I didn't understand about the game. So the Paragon system is the first thing I didn't completely understand. Once you're level 70, you keep earning Paragon points. You earn them pretty quickly if you're playing at high levels of difficulty. And then you can distribute them into the various sort of stat categories here. And the Paragon point pool that you earn, you can actually then apply to any one of your characters. So you can start a new level 1 character of another class, and you could be giving them from the get-go a lot of extra abilities, just like more vitality, faster, better critical hit percentages and whatnot. What you're seeing now is the results of me collecting the special Kanai's Cube. And that's something that you get after exploring a new area added in 2.3 that you can access from Act 3. And what you're doing there is you're going through a little zone. They teach you a little bit about the barbarians. It takes about an hour to go through, and you get this cube at the end. And this cube allows you to do all sorts of cool things like pull abilities off of legendary items and give them to you as superpowers. Allows you to bump up rares to legendaries. You can see here, but for the most part, this stuff is too high level for me. I don't have the right craft items in order to do a lot of these things like stripping the powers from the legendaries. But you can see some of the powers that you would then be able to equip yourself with if and when you have that kind of material. So see, I'm short some of this stuff. More playing to do, more loot collecting to do. So yeah, the deal is, my mistake really was, I thought, okay, keep playing, so I get to level 70 with my Demon Hunter, then I'll go to my Barbarian, then and I'll bring each one up from 1 to 70, get the cool new powers, get the cool new gear. No, mistake. Stay with the level 70, keep getting the Paragon points, and do some of the cool stuff that they've put into adventure mode, which is what I'm in. The thing you really want to do in adventure mode are the bounties. So you're going to your world map, which is special to adventure mode, and then each of the 5 acts of the game has been divided up, and you can check each one out and see which 5 randomized bounties there are. Now, these don't retain if you save your game, or you quit your game rather and leave. The 5 bounties will sort of re-roll themselves, and they'll be mixed back up. So you want to do this all in one sitting. You can hold down the triggers and you can see what the bounties are. You can hold down the triggers to see what the bosses are to remind you of the encounters. I highly recommend that you always go for the boss bounty first, because the bosses are more difficult than the regular enemies. They tend to be the toughest of the 5 bounties. And you want to play at as high a difficulty level as possible when you're playing Diablo, because you get better XP and loot. But if you sort of overestimated your abilities here, you'll wind up getting crushed and get to the boss bounty, and it'll just be terrible. So let's jump ahead here. This is the Butcher boss bounty for the 5 random ones I got. Nearly done killing him here. I spared you a lot of me chipping away. But like I said, go in for him first, or whatever the boss may be, and then do the other ones. So we got our bounty. Since he's a boss, he drops a ton of loot. The boss bounties, you can't jump out of in the middle of them to go back and repair your items. So these are really, you got to get them in one go. All the other bounties you can go in and out of, go back to town, mess around with your stuff and whatnot. So we're going to go back, right, and do a few more bounties. So you want to get all 5. Again, you want to get them in one sitting. So, for example, we'd go here. You can see the objective on the screen. And I'm running my way to free these 3 guys. Have a little bit of battling to do in the process. So we'll free this 3rd guy. I've jumped ahead again. There's another bounty. Here's another one. Got the bounty there. No, I'm not that fast. I have jumped ahead. The magic of video editing. Oh, here I just wanted to show you guys me getting a Paragon point, so I'm just filling up that blue XP bar and incrementally giving myself better stat buffs. Let's kill the boss here, another bounty, you see that thing flash through. And another bounty, another Paragon point, and then you get all that, they tell you to go back to Tyrael. So you got XP for each of the bounties, but then you talk to him. You get an overall bounty reward, and the best thing is, yeah, this stuff here, because I did the bonus one. I got even more loot. So you go into your inventory and check out your treasure. There's both of the caches, and they are stuffed with things, as you can see. So yeah, this is why you want to do your level, stay on your level 70 character and have them doing bounties and getting cool stuff. So there's a lot of weapon plans here. I didn't really understand the whole deal with set items, which have become a much bigger deal, especially as of last week with the new set item dungeons. I haven't been able to do any of them yet. But you go in and you just get a ton of loot. A lot of these things are plans that you'll then go to the artisan and you'll be teaching him to craft these things for you. You actually teach him by going to finding them in your inventory. Here we go. And then, pressing X on that stuff will get him to learn how to make those things, and then you're going to go there and to the artisan and have him craft the stuff for you. The deal here with the green items is that they are parts of sets. And in the early going, and it turns out I actually had some set plans and didn't even realize it, the sets are like 3 items. And so there's one like Cain set. His basic set is just 3 things. And if you wear a couple of the things in the set, some subset of the things in the set, you get perks. So you see as I'm scrolling through here with some of the green items, you'll see mentions of what I would get if I had more than one of the things in the set equipped. I wanted to show a little more with the set items. I've got a couple of set weapons that were really cool to have. So it's just like arming them and then getting an advantage for having 2 items is pretty cool. And just look how awesome these things look. Higher level, I guess rarer green set items only come with 1 plan per item. So I've had mostly mostly what's happened for me is that I have found a set of plans that has allowed the guy to make all 3 things in the set. But these are like baby sets. And the more advanced stuff, I'm finding a plan just for the 1 item. What they've done in patch 2.4 is they're saying, hey, if you can make a full set, full 6 things of this, whatever Uber set we're talking about, they've created a special unique dungeon for each of those sets. That deal with the guy with the cube before, one of his special powers is he lets you convert something from a set into another thing. So I guess if you have duplicates or you don't have what you want, I don't fully understand that, but that's a way, I guess, to deal with some of the needing to find that last one kind of thing. Okay, so we established the bounties are worth doing, going for set items is worth doing. Now there's rifts, and I didn't really get what this was either. It seemed like gobbledygook, but you talk to this guy Auric, and he's going to be in all the hub areas of adventure mode. And he gives you access to Nephilim rifts and then greater Nephilim rifts. They changed it recently so that you used to have to find a special key to even get into the Nephilim rifts. They've made that easier. Now you can always go into one. They're pretty tough. You see the bar on the left is basically challenging you. Can you kill enough enemies to fill up this 100% bar? And then they'll spawn an enemy. A boss rather, a Rift Guardian. So I've jumped ahead to fighting the Rift Guardian, so just imagine that I filled up that 100%. This took me a while. By the way, I meant to mention this, but the bounties, it took me about half an hour to clear all 5 bounties, which seemed like an okay rate. I spent most of that time, or probably more time doing the boss battle than the other bounties. But the Rift, it took me like 40 minutes, and I felt like way too long, and I just think I'm not powerful enough to really handle the Rift as well as I want to. I may be playing a too high difficulty level. But you clear the Rift, and the Rift boss is going to drop a whole lot of loot, which you're hoping that they're going to drop. Overburden, what a surprise. You're hoping they're going to drop a greater Rift key, because then that lets you go into these greater Nephilim rifts. I can't get us into one in this. I wasn't able to get into one last night when I was trying because they are somewhat random, but here's how the system works. In terms of getting the key, it's random. But you need the keystone. But you can go into them and then you can pick the difficulty level. I did one of these a few days ago and I really liked it. They put you on a 15-minute timer. They don't drop any loot while you're playing. You can't change your gear. You can't change your powers. You can't do anything until you clear the Rift. If you clear it, if you take more than 15 minutes, you get a little bit less in terms of your reward. You don't get a bonus, but you can still play it. It doesn't zap you out after 15 minutes. But either way, only once you beat that boss, once you clear the Rift, do you get all the loot that you've earned through playing. So it's cool because it basically cleans up the game a bit. Not a lot of loot to look at and worry about picking up. Just you can focus on combat. You're incentivized to go as quickly as you can, and then you get some cool stuff as a reward. Apparently, the higher the difficulty level you play in, and I'm playing at Torment 2 with my Demon Hunter, the greater likelihood that finishing a regular Rift will get you a greater Nephilim Rift Keystone. Apparently, once you get to a really high difficulty level, like Torment 8, 9, 10, you might even get 2 Keystones at a time. And then you can pick which difficulty level, and it seems pretty cool. And I've just scratched the surface of that. So here I am with my Crusader, and he's like a baby character, like level 19 or whatever. But what I can do is I can put those Paragon points that I had earned as a Demon Hunter into him, and then he can get better health regen and a lot of other perks that he normally wouldn't have, better stats rather, which just allows me to basically begin to get over the difficulty curve and have him playing at higher levels of difficulty than he should. Which then allows me to level him up faster. And that's the system. And that's why I'm saying, oh, the epiphany is, of course, I should have been playing more of my level 70 guy before starting new characters, because it makes advancing them much better. Also, I can use some of the green set items that were lower level that I found as a Demon Hunter. I can use them for him. I just put them in my stash and then have my Crusader access them. And so he's able to put on a whole set, and he gets some cool perks out of that. And again, that means he's sort of punching above his weight, as it were, which is cool. And now I'm getting it, right? Play that level 70, get more cool stuff with them, and then let that stuff sort of wash back into helping out your lower characters. All right, folks, so there you go. Diablo 3, at least for lapsed players. Hopefully this helped you get a look at what you might want to do in the game, especially if you were like me and had cleared the campaign and weren't really sure what more to do and thought it was just going to be kind of a boring grind. It is still a grind, but I get it now. Now I get it. Now I get adventure mode. Now I get going in and getting some of the set items and Paragon points and playing at the correct difficulty level and moving that difficulty level up as often as I can. And I'm actually having such a good time. I think I'm going to try to level up a few more characters and get to watch them on their journey from 1 to 70 and see what cool abilities they pick up. So yeah, they've hooked me. I didn't think I'd be playing Diablo 3 in 2016. Here I am. Maybe you will enjoy it too. All right, see ya.